Oh, I was muted. Sorry. So yeah, so we decided to turn the camera on as part of our Friday night stream. So we're gonna keep it on for the remainder of the time. So let me load the music. I need to remember to load the music. But yeah, so on Friday night stream, we decided to have the camera on as part of some of the games. So we're gonna be having that on for most of the stream today. So yeah, so we have a camera. I hope the camera quality is good, and the lighting is also good. Cool. So what we're gonna be doing today is our chat overlay is working. We have been doing a lot of work on it. It has been doing all the things that we need. What is now missing is that we're not showing, well, two things. The animation is a bit buggy. The animation itself is not working, but then we need to fix that. The next thing that we need to do is also add emotes. So we don't have any emotes as far as the overlay. So that's the kind of thing that we're going to be working on next. For Copter, so your idea kind of makes sense, but it will be hard to do because I will have to have a server to run the audio directly, because you cannot have so I will be streaming to two places, and that will be violating the affiliate contract for Twitch, because the sound itself has to be broadcasted somewhere else. But yeah, so the first thing we're gonna do is fix the emotes because they should be working. We don't have we should just get it to work. So okay, so let's change to here, and let's turn our camera on here. Cool. So I have the camera on, and then let's see view. So the thing that happens is if you want to stream two layers of audio, so you want to the way your suggestion is to split the audio between the stream and to have a way for people to turn it on and off, right? Oh, but that's not. So that is a is part of Twitch. So it's kind of, it will be a bit difficult to do because I don't think you have, again, you have to have a server that is encoding the audio if you want to turn the audio on and off. Did I get it correctly? Because I think that's kind of what you mean. So to support emotes, we need to go back to our Twitch API that we were using. Yeah, so we're gonna go back to our Twitch API, and then in our Twitch API, that's not what we want either. We want this one here. It might also be your internet. So I could see how, yeah, I could see how much the delay is. It's not too bad. Okay, so here we have to update our Twitch API endpoints because we want to start collecting. We want to start. So we have emotes. Let's see. So every time someone sends a chat message, we want to look at the emotes and find them in the Twitch API. So let's see. So yeah, we have to go get a set of emotes, and then we will have to figure out how to like parse it. So we could take it from there. So this is a new endpoint that we're gonna have to be doing, and then returns a emote, a set of emotes that you have. I don't think I'm getting what is your goal. Okay, it says in the corner of your stream you have to make your you have to make your own audio encoding for music and from station program to read it and play it for the viewers, so the music is optional. I'm not sure how that will work. You still have to transmit the music somewhere that is not Twitch, because the issue is like if the music is not in Twitch, sorry, I'm gonna turn off the camera for a bit because I want to make sure that we see that. I want to make sure that we can see the whole response. Okay, so the way it works is that we have a way to send images. We don't want images. We want. Wait, how do we get the images? Okay, so this one returns the images. So okay, the way it works is that we have the width, we have all of them. But why is it giving? What is the difference between images? We have images, we have set. So the set is the one that we pass a set to it, and then it returns all of those in the set. Then how do I get? Let's talk about it after the stream. Because that will be easier. Okay, so we have the. How do I get the images themselves? Because like this one's gonna return like the rate, so it returns the necessary information that we need. So like the image URL, but I'm not sure. The one that the chat is giving us is this one here. But there's nothing else. So how we? You have to do 2 requests, and what params can I send to it? Yeah, let's talk about it. I'm still having a bit of a hard time understanding what like how it works. So let's talk about it afterwards. Okay, so cool. So we have the emotes set, but I'm not sure how do we get the images themselves, right? So let's say get all chat emotes. Yeah. Let's see here. We could get all the badges for a given channel. Oops. Yeah, so we could see all the badges for a given channel. That's how we're gonna get badges working. Then we need to get the emote sets. Right, so we need to figure out how do we get a set. So list of integers. Okay, so we could pass a list of integers and then we get the set of them. But the issue is like we only get the ID, right? So you have the ID. Maybe this is not right. Let me try something. Let me just ping that API. I think we did this before. I'm gonna put I want to make sure that I have the necessary thing set up, so I'll be right back. Let me just put the screen on. Okay, so I am back. So we do have the necessary information to make a request. So let's see if we can do a curl request. Okay, this is what we ended up doing as a curl request last time, which we needed to change. So now we're just gonna do the curl request to get the API for it. I should. So one thing that we're trying to keep track, make sure that we do is because of how Twitch works, everyone that is coming in and seeing the stream for the first time, they will see an ad. So while I get set up, I'm gonna run a 60-second ad, but I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Thank you. Cool. If you're subscribing, you're watching, thank you so much for subscribing. You shouldn't be seeing the ad itself. I appreciate that you guys are supporting the channel and helping, helping the channel, helping me as well. Yeah, and we could have the camera back on because I am pretty much done with this because this is not very helpful. I just need to make sure that this works correctly. Okay. Yeah, so it returns the set, but doesn't return, like, what I need is a way to be able to get the URLs. So it returns the set. There's this image one, so we could try the image one. Let's try the image. Is that the one I did? Oh yeah, I did the image. So I just need to make sure that cool. Welcome back. So I'm just going through it and just figuring out like the different ways to connect, like how do we could get the emotes that people are using. So the top one, we could get the badges. The issue is that I'm not sure how to get the specific ones, right? So like, how do I get, so if I use this endpoint gives me the URL, but I don't want to get all of them. So the one I need to find is one that gives me the URLs. So this one does not give me the URL, but like, yeah, so this one doesn't give me the URLs. So I have to just keep looking to see if there's one that gives us other URLs that tells. Let's see. Get all the. It doesn't return the images. The only one that returns the images is this one here. But I wonder if there's another one that we could use to get the set. Well, not get the set, but get the image itself. So we have the ID of the set, right? We know that this is the set, but I wonder if we could just have a way to get all of them at once, right? So we have the set, but now that we have the set ID, so we have the set ID, we have the emote ID, so we just need to get it from there. So I'm just gonna look at the API more, see if there's any like hints of how to do it. So the goal is to be able to ping the API, and then since we get the API, we know so we know the set that the person has, because I have multiple ones, so I want to make sure that we get all of them. So we're gonna get a set. The only thing I can't figure out is how to get all of them, because right now when we do this returns all of them, but it's not limited by this set, right? It's like it's returning everything that is in Twitch right now. So I wonder if this is what they want us to do, but I think that would be very scary because you are returning every single emote that Twitch has, right? And there is probably millions of them. Yeah, there's a lot. And it's probably gonna crash things. I shouldn't run it, but there's a lot of them, so I'm not sure I want to download all those. But we could go back and look at. There is this one that they have this node module that they promote. So we could just look at it and see how it gets the emotes. And then we can see how it connects to the API. Yeah, so we're gonna look at this, how this connects to the API, and probably get some good insight of how. Not it. So the goal is to be able to get all of them and just like put them into a set. And when we get a set, we could just take them out. And then when someone sends a message, we could just use that message, just parse that message and replace the text for the emote. And that kind of will get us in a good state. But yeah, we're gonna be doing a lot of Go because most of the API some of the APIs already written in Go. We'll have to just rewrite a new one. We're gonna create a new one. So this is what is doing the parsing for the emotes. So we just need to figure out where the emotes themselves are coming from. So I believe it's here. Okay, so they have a set of emotes. We just need to find that set of emotes. Like what is populating that. Okay, so it's doing set token and then setting it to the emote set. But what is getting the images? So this is being replaced here with the emote. So we are emitting an event. That event is not being captured, so it might be used somewhere else. We should send the emotes to it. This is doing some regex, and then the regex is being applied to it, so it's getting the message, the code, and then the string. So I think the part that is missing for me is where is the image itself coming from. Yeah, so the image itself is the one that is eluding me. So like we have the profile, like we just need to get the emotes image format. But I wonder if it's just doing a request to, or if they're just cool. Thank you so much for the follow, Temi. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. So yeah, so we just to find where the emote set is coming from, right? Because the emote set, the way that I get the image is from here, but I'm worried of using this here. So I wonder if they're using that in here too. The issue is huge, right? So it will take forever for us to be able to get it. So I wonder if there's a way for us to just so there's a message here, not including their images. So what if I just do 2 requests, right? One. No, this one takes forever too. Yeah, so there's a lot to download. And then it's gonna take a long time to parse, which is what's happening right now. So this one gets the badges for a specific channel. Yeah, so it just returns a ton of it. Ooh, but I don't know if I could use sets for this, because it would be cool if I could just use this one and pass a set to it. If that worked, that means that the documentation is a bit off. We could try it, see what happens. Nope. So I wonder if there's something else that we could do. So let's see. Don't want to edit. I we don't want clips. Shine over. This is the one we were in. Check out the issue, right? It's like this one includes the images, so maybe that's a way to do it, which suck because then we have this massive amount of this giant data structure in memory that we need to use to be able to get the information out of it. But for some reason, I don't see this happening here. So we get a set, right? We already have this. We could get a set itself, but we cannot get the image itself. Oh, there's this one here. Oh, wait, no, but that one doesn't give you the image icon. Okay. That is kind of misleading, right? Because it says images. But wait, well, why would it say images? Like, what is the difference between... Oh no, this image is the same. So, okay. That is not the one that we want. So, returns the set, but where is the image itself? So we're going through the main Twitch package to be able to see how to get the emotes images themselves, because I'm not sure how to get the images. I know how to get the set from the API, but the API is not very clear. So our choices right now are getting all the emotes across Twitch, so getting all of them, and that includes the image icon for all of them. So you have all the images that are attached to it, and then it's kind of the only option that they're giving us. And then you could find them based on the icon you have. So that's kind of the thing that we have to figure it out. So right now I'm just going through the search of the old one. Oh, sorry, not the old one, the main Node.js package to make sure that we find it. We just need to find it, make sure that it's there. But yeah, if not, we could just get a big one. So we could just make a request at the start of the API server. See, it's still going, right? We could just make a request to the start one and then parse it completely. I wouldn't want to store it in memory either, but it would take so long for us to see it too. So maybe if I can find it in like the next 5 minutes, we just go and just straight up use the big one first. And I think it makes sense why they're doing that, right? The reason why they're doing that is mostly because they want to be able to they don't want people to make a bunch of requests to the API. So it's better to just download all the sets and then go through it. Hey, so what I'm building, so right now, if I'm not sure if you could see this, did I turn it off? No. But if you chat, the chat itself is joining in the overlay right now. So the way it works right now is that there is a chat overlay that we ended up building in the parse2 streams. The overlay itself right now, if you put an emote in it, so for example something like this one here, and we send it, so it doesn't show up in the chat itself. So you see how it says Miguel 115 hero. We want to be able to show whatever that represents as part of the overlay. What we're doing right now is that we're going through the Twitch API. So we're going through the Twitch API, and then the Twitch API is giving us a choice that I don't like. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. So the Twitch API is giving us a choice that I'm not enjoying. Um, so what I'm doing right now is figuring out if there's a better way to do this. So the choices that we have right now is two things. Um, so we could get the emote set. So we know we could get the message from the chat server. So we know what emotes we have to show. Let's see if on the chat server. Yeah. So we could see that emotes is not. It's just REST API. Yeah. It's not using GraphQL. Cool. So what it's doing, what we need to do right now is like we're getting the emote set, right? We know the emote that we're getting. The issue that is happening right now is that, well, we know the emote set, but we don't know the image that we have to get, right? So if you go to the emote set and say like, give me the code for it, it gives you the ID for that emote. And then you have to go through this other API, which has hundreds of thousands of emotes, and then find it there. So that's kind of what I need to do. But that's kind of what we're doing right now. I'm just going through to a JavaScript version of the emotes. But I think we just have to go straight up and just get that emo. Unless we could find something else. So let's see. It is, but then you have a bunch of random numbers. So you have the first thing is emoticon, then you have this here, and then you have a random set of numbers. So it's because we want to build it ourselves. So we ended up building most of this structure for it. We built our own server send event server. We ended up building our own IRC client in parser. So we kind of building our own streaming stack ourselves just for fun. So I am getting used to learning. So I am relearning Go. I used to write Go before, but I stopped doing it for like a year. So I'm just going through different projects to be able to relearn the language itself. And this is kind of the best way to do it. It's like I am building some things for the stream as well as I'm learning, like going back and figuring out how to do things in Go itself. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Copter, to answer your question, no, you cannot rebuild the URL ourselves because they all have unique strings at the end. And like you see, so also our we define, like we kind of did build our own not this streaming platform, but our own overlays, our own like the top bar we created ourselves, and it's being populated by some of the information that we're getting. So we ended up building a handful of tools. So this server that is running right now, yeah. So this tool that is running right now is the one that is doing most of the work for us, and it's pretty much just getting all the information that we need. So it's getting it's populating the new subscribers, and when someone subscribes, sorry, not new subscribers, the new followers is populating on top. Yeah, it does. Yeah. So Streamlabs does everything for you, but I wanted to like just as part of this process, I wanted to be motivated to learn the language again. So I just ended up building those things myself. So I know Streamlabs does stuff for you. There's a couple more that do it for you, but like that's kind of not fun. So you could just end up building some of those things. Yep. So we ended up building the overlays ourselves too. So I could show you that. And at the end of all of this, when I get the the chat overlay working correctly, I will end up open sourcing this for myself and for other people to use. I don't think we did this. But yeah, so we ended up creating overlays themselves. So for example, the notification when someone's following us, we see it here, which is just a very simple overlay that we're populating. And then for the chat itself, we're still working on the chat. We ended up just building it last Friday, so we're still making changes to it. But the chat itself is just like mostly JavaScript that we ended up writing ourselves. And then, so the way it works is that we use something called an event source, which is a so event source is just something that most browsers have. So Chrome has it, Firefox has it. So it's a way for us to receive events in real time from the server. So it's like a WebSocket, but instead of being two-way communication, it's just a one-way communication. So the server itself sends messages to the client, but the client cannot respond back to the server. So it was a lot simpler to implement that doing with WebSockets. So what we're doing now is like we have a Go server that is listening, that is doing, is behaving like a server send event server, which the thing that what it does, it just never closes the connection. I could show that code too. So the cool thing about the server send event is just mostly like most browsers will be able to support it because it's not doing anything special. It's just opening the connection and never closing the connection to the client. So most of the time when you get a request from the server terminates the connection with the client. In our case, we don't do that. We just keep the connection open. So we have a for loop in Go that is constantly running. So it's constantly running when if there is like, so it's constantly running when the client itself could close the connection or the server could close the connection whenever they want, but the connection is always kept open, and that's how the notifications and the chat messages that are showing up as overlay are working. So we ended up building this in the past like 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Again, there's a lot of tools that do this already, but the goal was to be able to relearn Go and like play around with channels, play around with using Go routines and all these different things that Go tries out. So that's kind of why we ended up building it. What we're doing now is the chat overlays is done. Kind of. It's still a bit buggy, but we need to make some fixes there. But there is a couple of things that are missing on the overlay. Emotes are not showing up in the overlay. The badges for people are not showing up. And then I want to show the profile picture. So if someone has a profile picture and they're chatting, I want to show that as part of the chat overlay. So that's kind of what we're doing right now. And we're looking into the API to just, we're going through the Twitch API to see how we could bring some of the emotes into play. Because the issue that's currently happening is that when we get the emote set, it doesn't return the URL for them. So we have to figure out how to get the URLs for them. And some of the things that are happening is like, oh, someone built an API that you can use. Well, that's kind of what we're going for. It's like we're trying to figure out like different ways to do the API. And we are also trying to figure out, yeah, so it's pretty much going through the API and figuring out like different setup of the, how do we get the URL, for example. So the URL that we want is the image URL. So we could get the information, necessary information for the emote itself, but we cannot get the URL itself. Yeah, so a lot of streamers are doing that too. They're kind of building their own tools because like the Twitch API is very simple. So Coding Garden is kind of doing the same thing too. I believe he's using Node.js to build it. I think he also built these. He's also using some Electron apps that he's using to be able to do that too. Yeah, so a lot of people are using it because the Twitch API in some cases is very simple to use. For example, what I'm like getting the real-time messages is very easy to do. So like that's kind of why people do it a lot. But like after this is done, I will probably move on to doing some more Go in like a I have a open source project that I want to work on, so that will be the next thing that we work on. Oh yeah, so we have this thing going on where we discovered that if we don't do pre-roll, if we don't handle the pre-roll ads, the discoverability of the channel gets very bad. So from time to time, we will run an ad to make sure that that first new people that are coming into the chat are not to chat, to the channel, are seeing don't see the ad itself. So that's kind of what we're doing. So I'm gonna run an ad in like 5 more minutes to make sure that we get it. Thank you for the reminder. Copter. But yeah, a lot of people are doing this. A lot of people are going and building their own tools around Twitch. It's just because some of the APIs are very simple to use, and it's like easier for one to build as far as the stream, right? So yeah, so different people, like a lot of people are building their own things and making sure that they get it correctly. But the fun of it is like the Twitch, you're doing like different things, right? You're some of them are doing it in Node.js, some of them are doing it in Python, and some of them are doing it in Go. And then there are other ones that are just building the whole thing from the ground up in like C++. So it's fun to watch because each language has different ways to do things. But yeah, if you have any questions about Go, let me know. So I think I'm just gonna go with this endpoint here. So I'm gonna implement this endpoint, and then I'm gonna use a map in Go where I'm gonna use the ID. So why do I need to get a set? So here's the thing that I never understood, right? Oh wait, does it? So maybe I don't have to keep everything. Maybe I just keep the set and then eliminate things that are not being used. But then I will have to call it from time to time to make sure. So this is where it gets updated. Wait, what is emotes? So there's another one that is just called emotes. Okay, so this is the emote set. Then replaces it with something. Oh, there is transform emotes, which I'm not sure what it does. Maybe I'm missing something. So there's emote ID, first ID, oh, last first. It depends. Like, if you feel comfortable in the current language that you're doing, you could pick it up, or at least just like try to dabble around it. So you could try doing like picking up and see how it goes. In some cases, it's like your first language becomes stronger because you're pollinator, you're getting ideas from a different language and you're bringing it to your first language. So it happened to me with PHP and Python. So I learned PHP first. Then when I learned Python, I brought in some of the Python ideas into PHP, and I think that made my code a bit better. So like the whole way that you do object-oriented programming and things like that. This still looks a bit weird. So I really don't want to pull all of them. Let me check GitHub, because my worry is like I pull all those images. I don't even know how big it is, right? If I pull all the set and then I keep it in memory, it's gonna probably crash my computer. You know what? Let's see how big this is. Also, like one thing I also like doing to learn a new language is just building something that I have built before. Just because it will be a lot easier to just build. Yeah, this thing is huge. So yeah, I don't think I could keep this in memory. Yeah, not even my editor could open it. Oh, this is gonna be bad. Yeah, I don't think I could open it. How are these other places doing it? Is it building the image itself? That's kind of the idea that Copter gave us. Oh wait, let's just look at this. So this is how ours look like. Oh, this is right. Okay, so this makes it. Wait, how is that even possible? Okay, so that's the ID. And we saw this ID. Copter, you're right. Not too bad. Oops. Not that one, this one. So We did. Yeah, I think we could just call it. Oh, I call it hero. We did hero, and let's see. We are here. Oh, okay, that makes it a lot easier. You're totally right, dude. The URL. So this is how it looks. It's less like the one that we were looking at before, but we have nice. Okay, so we have the version here. So I'm not sure what I think it's always version 2. Oh, it's the different versions for the browsers to see. But the URL itself looks something like this. So is the ID. So ID, then the size of it. So we could build it ourselves, right? So that would make it a lot easier. Yeah, so we could start building it. So let's do that. So we could use. I don't think they mention it anywhere, which is it's too bad. Yeah, I don't think they mention it anywhere, which is a bit too bad. But this is how it looks in general, which looks weird. But the overlay itself is just the size of it, and then the different sizes of it. So version 1 is just like smaller, and I think there's a version 3, which is a bit bigger. But it's just the size of it, so we could just use it. We could just build it ourselves. Okay, so we are going to be using the set API. The way we're going to do this is that we're going to use the set API. Do we need to even worry about the set? We have the ID. So we have the ID already. So I wonder if we need to keep. Why would we keep the set? Oh, because we don't know when to replace it. Okay, that makes more sense. So we use the set because the set itself has a code that we're going to be replacing with. So we know the code that we're going to be replacing with. Then, since we know that, we could then check for that text that we're going to be replacing for. I think. Oops. Let's see here. Okay. Still a big one. And this one. Okay. Nope, that's not what we want. We don't want that one. Okay, so if with the set ID we could get the code words that we need to replace. And in our case, let's look for hero. So we're looking for hero here, and where is our set? 0, 0. Oh, right here. It's a set that we're going to be using. And then the set itself has the necessary information that we need to be able to go and build the image URL ourselves. Oh, which is an anti-set. Wait, what? So, why is that one an anti-set? So, and this is pretty much when people start joining the chat too. So this is the bot joining. Wait, why is this set empty? Could it be empty? So we use this set to be able to figure out which set we're gonna get. Okay, so that set is empty. Go back to here and figure out different tags. So, so global state is the global state when someone joins, and we get a set private message as emotes. Oh, I should have read this right here. How you build the URL. So it's the size, the ID size. But where is the set? User state. Okay, so the user notifications when someone joins. User state when. So where did I miss it? I think I'm just also spelling it, probably mistyping it. Oh, would it be that enable? No. So let's see. So supposed to get two. So I'm supposed to get a user state when someone joins, I think. And then let's see. That's the display name for the bot. Copter. Yeah, I think I don't know where I'm supposed to get it set from. That would be the interesting part of it. Okay. Let's try changing this a bit. Okay, so it's not there. It's an empty set. So why am I getting an empty set when? So the user when a user joins for the first time, it should give you all the information for that one user, right? So he joins. So there is like the different badges that people could have, like leadership badges, but that shows up not as part of the display, but as something else. Because like the issue that happens is like each user has his own set of badges of emotes. So I have some of the channels that I'm subscribed, for example. I have this one here. I have this one. Which gives me all the emotes, but also doesn't give me the set for them. So that's the interesting part. So we're gonna find the set. Give me a second. I think I'm gonna take a 2-second break. I'll be right back. Let me put this here. Let's put the standby screen. I'll be right back. Thank you so much for subscribing. I had to get some water, so I also running out at the same time. Yeah, thank you so much for subscribing. Cool, so I am back. Sorry, I had to run and get some water. Okay, so we're missing a bit of information here. We're missing the part where we track of all the sets. Maybe the easier way to just print all the different sets that we're getting. If we print all the sets that we're getting, we could then start figuring out how to build it. Maybe I just miss a piece of it. So let's go back to our... Let's just check our sets. Yeah, so as we... What this one sets? Oh, I might not be printing the messages, all the messages. Yeah, so that one doesn't have sets. So maybe I just didn't implement it. Okay, let's go with that. I didn't implement it. So let's just look at the code itself for our Twitch chat client and making sure that we have the necessary sets. So what is missing right now is a way for us to get a set. So the emote sets have all the information that we need to be able to build it. So the thing that is missing is when we're building our set, to find the emotes that we need to do, like replace it, we need to have the code. So we have the code and the ID, right? What is missing right now is that we need to find a way for us to be like, okay, so we have this code here. Now, how do we get this code? So that's kind of what is missing. Yeah, if we're missing the code, we have the ID, but we don't have the code itself. So we just need to find a way, like figure out where the code itself is coming from. And then the code itself, the set itself has like a list of all the emotes and like the keywords that are attached to them. So what we need to do now is like figure out where it's falling apart. So we're gonna user state, right? So we have the user state, which is supposed to have, so send user state data when a user joins a channel or sends a private message. But I haven't seen it be fired too much, right? We need, wait, is it 3? Let's see, user state. So user state is the one that is gonna have it. I can't find any of it. So maybe we're not handling user state correctly. I think that will be the first. So the user state is here, and this is for. Oh, that's a copy and paste that I did. So we should be getting the user states. We're not sure why we're not getting it. Okay, so user state has the display name of the person. Does it have the ID of the person? If they're a moderator, if they're type of user. So we could just use the user ID, sorry, the display name as the way to keep track of the users. So the way it's gonna work is that we're gonna create back to, so maybe it's in here. So we're missing some information and we just need to find it. So that's our timer. We don't need that. We don't need this. So we're printing the line. Then we're doing, oh, state is missing here. So we're not doing anything with the state. So we will have to figure out that first, right? We will have to figure out how to do the state, and then from the state we could start building on top of it. Okay, so we are gonna use case that's token that user. Wait, do we even have user? Oh no, I don't think we ever implement the user state. Oh, we did. So we have user state. Okay, so that's there. And check our scanner. So we're gonna have to go back. I don't think we ever implemented it. So and let's see if we implemented it. Yeah, we didn't implement user state. We went. Oh, we did. This is wrong. This is user state. So we have user state. Okay, cool. So we don't have to build that. We have a parser, and our parser, we just have to make sure that we're parsing user state here. So we have user state. So we're parsing it. So that means that we could go back to our bot client and teach it to look into the user state. But it was weird that I wonder if it's gonna have the information that we need. Okay, so we go here, case, and then token dot user state. Okay, so we have user state now, and what I want to do is just print. We're gonna print the tag so we can know what is in there. So we're gonna do parse dot tags. Okay, so we have tags, and then we want to be 3. I'm gonna start again, and maybe for now I'm gonna turn off printing all the lines. We're just gonna print the line that we just parsed. So we just need to teach. We just have to go back and make some changes a bit because I don't think we were getting all the information that we get for the user state. Okay, so this is a set, but for some reason that set is returning empty. So this is a set for so we are getting the set for the user state. Wait, does it set comes from the channel too? What do you mean by inline message errors? Do you mean for VM? So, oh, so I use something called, let me find it. This is not it. So, I'm using a combination of plugins. So I'm using something called, so I'm using this here. So I'm using a language server. So I'm using this here for my language server, and then for Go, I'm using something called Go Please, which is what I'm using. So Go Please is the one handling the error messages. But if you, I think if you use Vim Go, it gives you all of that kind of. But it might be easier to setting up like all the pieces by yourself. But I think if you use this here, you could, you should be able to do it. But that's kind of how I have it set up. So I think the one that maybe the room one is the one I want. So I didn't implement all of them, but the room one, you're very welcome. I think the room one is the one that is the one that is doing it. No emotes only. No. Yeah, which ones? Like right now I'm only getting one, right? So these are the emotes that I'm getting. Oh, but how do I get it for everyone else, right? It's like, so for myself, how would I get it? So if I send a private message, there's no setting a private message. We only get the badges if they have donated any bits and the color of the bits that they have, the emotes themselves. But there's nothing else saying like this is all the emotes that this message has. Oh, we could just go back to KMI, yes, and see how they do it. So they do how they do the parsing. Uh, emotes, emote sets, which is what we need. So they're parsing the tags. See emote set, but maybe I'm just missing it somewhere. Because there's nothing else, right? It's like these are my own. This is like the current user. How do I get everyone else? Oh, let's check that. That one does it. Client, free client. As all structures. The messages themselves. Nope. Message. Okay, so this one has emotes, and this is the one that they get from the private message. Yeah, so the private message, the one we want is the set. So parse set. So, oh, global user state. Where is global user state? But global user state is only for that one user that is joining. So let's see. Global user state is for when someone else, when you authenticate, provides data about the current login user. Okay, so that we don't want the current user, we want everyone else. So this is a chat messages. Then we have user notifications, which has emotes, and then we have user state message. User state. Back to the chat. User state. When user sends user state data when a user joins channel sends a private message. How come I'm not getting this one? Maybe I'm not subscribing correctly to it. So I think that's kind of the issue. Maybe I'm not subscribing to all the events correctly. Because I feel like I'm missing some information, right? So I am sending the tag. So I'm asking for tags, and I'm asking for commands, and I'm asking for membership. But the thing that is missing is like I am not getting the user state. So every time someone sends a message, we should see the user state, right? We should be getting the user state, but we're not. So maybe I'm not doing it correctly. So the user state has what we need, right? Where's this being used? This is another one. So state. Let's go find it. Oh wait, it's not. Yeah, so user state has it. So the message that I'm probably doing some commands wrong, but I thought I had this correctly here. So I am sending. There are general commands that works. So I am sending tags, which I'm getting tags back. Then I'm so I'm getting the tags. Then I'm send the commands one too. So this one here, which is supposed to send you the user state. So like every time someone joins. Yeah, so I am kind of getting this one, but only for myself, not for everyone else. So maybe I have to use... Can I ask for the user? Maybe I have to send the command myself. That might be it. Maybe I have to go and send the command myself. Every time someone joins, I have to send each another command asking for the state of that user. Let's see. The message, client. So this one is handling states. This is a test. So let's see how you send commands on this client. So I think, yeah. So maybe the mistake that I'm probably making is that I'm not sending commands to it. Like after someone joins, I need to probably send a command asking for information. So like the format of it. So let's go back to client. Let's see. So that one removes the message. So when someone joins, it appends them to the channel as false and then sends it to the join channel. So yeah, so it joins the channel, and then it doesn't do anything else. So we have the channel. We have a channel. We append them to the channel. So there it ends. This one handles the pings, and the way that I send commands is by using send. That's the setup command. So what are the setup commands? Oh, the setup commands to what the user passes to it. Then the different capabilities. Then it subscribes. So yeah, not sure what I'm missing here. I think I'm missing. So we don't handle whisper. We handle saying. ASM. New text for lacking. So we don't. This is when someone joining the channel. So when this is when it joins the channel. So it's gonna join a channel. It creates a channel. Then it lacks. Probably read. Creates join message. So this is when the bot is joining the message. So this is when it joins. You give it a channel to join, and then it just goes through all the channels and then joins. Okay, depart. So he leaves. Yeah, I think I need to send a command to it. So I might try doing that. So how would it work? So maybe I just ask for the user state for everyone. But this is how it's sent. Let's see. Yeah. So this is how the client sends it. This is what this. Yeah, this is client sending. This is when the server sends. So this is the server sending things to us. So purging commands. That's interesting. I don't see how. Like again, so for recap, what is happening? I need to be able to get a user state. So every time someone joins the chat, they have different emotes attached to their account. What I'm trying to do now is figure out why I'm not getting those events, even if I'm connected and I see people joining. So every time someone joins, I'm able to see like they're joining. The issue is like I don't see their state being set, right? So they're supposed to be set when someone joins. When someone says a message, you're supposed to see all the different states, like all the information that comes with that user. For some reason, I'm not seeing that information. But I'm able to see that I'm sending. Oops, it's not it. I'm able to see that I'm sending the right commands to it. So like when the server responds back to me, let's just put that one back. When the Twitch chat server responds back to me, I am getting all the different different capabilities that I'm adding, right? So I'm adding one for let's see. So membership, I'm adding one for commands, and I'm adding one for tags. So we have membership, tags, and commands. So we are turning all those things on. So we're letting the chat server know that we support multiple things. What is happening now is that since I joined, I'm able to see myself, so the bot account sets, but I'm not able to see anything else. So I'm not able to see like the ones for the users themselves. So I have a list of users, and I'm not able to go and take that list of users and use that to ask for more information, right? Because attack copter could have a different set of emotes that I don't have. So that means like I cannot go by myself. So that's kind of what we're doing. I looked at the Go Twitch IR client, and it was not there. Yeah, so that's kind of what we're doing now. We're just going through it as I go. I will run it out in like 5 more minutes because I want to figure this out first before we jump into it. So yeah, so the thing that's happening is that I'm missing a set of commands that have been sent to me, and I'm not doing anything about it, right? So I need to be able to figure out why that's happening. So I'm gonna keep looking at the Go client and see if there's anything else that we're doing that we shouldn't be doing. So it parses the names, so we get everyone's names. So I wonder if he's doing it here, right? Names. I can't find where these functions are being used. Okay, so names is being used there. Oh, it's because it's looping through it. It's using an interface. Okay, so names, and then it's putting it into the channel, and then putting the users into the channel. Yeah, so we're just going through it and figuring out like the different users. Figuring out how to get the user set for all the users that are already in the chat. And when the user joins, we should make a request for that user. What is happening right now is like there is a channel user list. True. What is happening is that right now I'm not sure if I need to send a command back to the Twitch server to get more information for a given server for a given user, right? So what is happening currently is that I'm just going through a project, seeing how the user itself is being created. Sure what this is doing. So okay, so it's adding the users. This is the user list. Wonder if the user list is being fed somewhere else. Undo you see joins. Let me join through. Undo you see boarding. So when the user leaves. I think that's kind of what we're missing. We're missing the part of like, how do we tell when someone joins? How do we tell it that? How do we get information about that person when they join? So like we're missing information here, right? It's like someone joined. Yeah, that is weird because someone joined and we didn't get their tags. I think I might have messed up something because I think the tags are supposed to come when someone joins too. Joins. No, I guess joins doesn't have it. I guess it's only the other commands. So tags, yeah. So I think everything that's here has it. So we just need to figure out why we're not getting this one when someone joins. So when someone joins, we're supposed to get clear state, sorry, update state, and okay, let's see. Yeah. Some tags are gone. Send user state data when a user joins a channel or sends a private message. I wonder if it's only when I do it myself. So like if the bot account is the one sending the message. Let me try that. So I think it's only when the bot account is sending the message. So let me try logging into the bot account and see if you can see it here. Because then it would be weird if it's only for the user. Sorry, for the current login user. Because I want to see it for everyone. So give me a second. Yeah, so it might be only for the account that is currently logged in, but it would be weird if it's that way because we don't want to be able to, we want to do it for everyone. If we could do it, if we cannot do it for everyone, we will have to figure out how to do it. And we could just look at the different clients, Twitch clients that are already doing it. So we could start doing that. What I'm doing right now is I'm just logging into the bot account. I'm gonna post a message through it into the chat, and then see if we get the correct message in our screen. Yeah, so we are gonna wait until that finishes. Um, and then let's see. So wait, let's test it. So send a message. Go back here. Yeah, we're not getting the send message. So I think there is something wrong with our client where some of the messages are this. Yeah, some of the messages that we're supposed to be getting, we're not getting it correctly, right? Because we're supposed to get um. So yeah, we're supposed to get um a message saying more information about the bot. So maybe we have to just when let's see. So how do we do it? So per message. So there is that one. Display now. So yeah, so we're not getting enough information. Send a okay. So let's just go back here. I think I'm missing something when it comes to like how the sequence of commands that I have to send are being handled. So we can just figure it out. Okay. So when someone joins, we this is where it starts, right? Someone joins. Um. So we wanted to join channel, but we don't want to join ourselves. We want to join someone else. Yeah, we want to make sure that it's not ourselves joining. So let's go up. So just try to find it. Yeah, I think we are missing something. Or maybe my commands are not being set correctly. But the server is replying that it's getting it correctly. So the server is acknowledging that I'm getting like it's at least some of them are being set, right? So the commands are being set. Um, and I see the user state being sent to myself, but I'm not seeing it for everyone else. So I get a user state and I get a room state. So user state. Yeah, so I get a user state for myself, but there's nothing else about anyone else, right? It's like I get it about myself. Yeah, so I just keep getting it about myself and I don't get it about anyone else. And in reality, from the documentation, if I'm reading it correctly, I should be getting it for everyone else, right? Um, so there might be something like a command that I have to send back to see to get a user state. So maybe I should go back to the documentation. Okay. So commands. Nope. This. So this one clears the messages, so we don't want to do that for now. Getting started. Um, so there's some limitations that we know already. Um, there's commands, join. So I'm doing the join already, right? So I'm saying join, and then someone joins. It's okay. So we get the names and the parts. So we're getting that information, private messages, and we support all of these commands too. We are also saying that we support membership, which is what we need. Then we say we need tags, which adds all the tags. And then we do commands. Wait, what is this one hanging here? Like there's two here. So is there? You have to request it twice. No, that might be a mistake. Okay, so we have commands. Um, so we get it for the server. We get that for the server. So this just means from the server. I didn't. I want to run it now. Thank you for the reminder. Again, if you're watching and you're subscribed, thank you so much for subscribing. Mostly appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. The user states announce when a user when in doubt, just Google it. Wait, what if I misspell tags? Welcome back. So I'm still going through this and figuring out like what I'm missing. I think I might not be sending the correct tags. I'm just gonna double check that I'm sending the correct tags, because like it looks like someone else is having the same issue. Okay, so we are sending membership. I'm just gonna make sure that I also spelled it correctly. Membership, because I'm using BIM is gonna be weird. So okay, so all that matches. So I have membership, which is when someone joins. I wonder if the order matters. Membership, command, and then tags. Okay, so I have the order correct. Well, the order is a bit weird, so let's just make sure that it matches that order. So they have membership, command, and then tags. Okay, so we are going to do that. And then we are here. And then I'm going to restart it. So again, so what is happening right now is I'm going through this. I'm trying to figure out why I'm not getting the state events. So when someone sends an event or someone join our chat, we should see a event happening that says like X joined. One thing I'm also not seeing is before we used to see like a lot of people just like joining. So maybe something weird is happening with the Twitch servers right now. Usually we get a bunch of messages saying like, oh, there will be a lot of joins. And there was a reason why we did like handle joins differently. So maybe that might be too. So where am I? Oh, I want to turn this off. Okay. Okay, that is off. I want to go back here and look at the instructions. So I know you could send. Oh, you could do that. So that person missed tags. So what did we miss? So yeah, a lot of people are having the same issue that I'm having. So I'm not getting the state itself. Oh, only your cells. Oh, that is weird. So you don't get states about other users. You only get state about yourself, which is kind of what we're seeing, right? We're only getting states about ourselves. Oh, I wonder if they're joining the different sources, right? If so, they get the first step. Wait, but that wouldn't make sense. Okay, so let's see what this is. So that makes a request. Emotes. So sure, they join the parts the emotes, which are just part of the set. But sure. So let's see what the API gets called. This one gets the emote set. That's the only one doing it. So it doesn't look like there's a way for us to get information about all these sets that are around. So I wonder how they're doing that, right? It's like you're only getting the set about yourself, which is kind of makes sense. But I was hoping that I would get information about all the users too. So user set, update user set. So where are the sets? Set. So this is only the set for myself, which is kind of lame, right? Because you're only getting the set about yourself. Global state, which has my user state. Ooh, what a room. No, the room doesn't have any sets, so it doesn't say which sets people support. So that's kind of not what we want. I'm trying to see. So messages. I guess there's a misconception in the document itself, because it sounded like I could get metadata about myself, about everyone else, right? So like when someone joins, I know who joined. But where are the emotes being sent, right? It's like that's kind of the missing piece. So broadcaster, emotes, so this one here. Can I get a single emote? So that would be a better question then. If I could get a single emote, I could probably find their code. But it would be cool if I could use the set, right? Yeah, it would be better if I could find the set, because then I could just start building it. So weird. So metadata, so user state, so send a message, emote, and then. But then what's the point of a set? So if you cannot get information over a set, like what would be the point of it? Then a lot of things will be missing. Okay, let's see. Users only. Sure. And then there's one that returns user IDs chat channel. So let's look at that endpoint, because that might be a lot easier then. But yeah, it's kind of confusing that it doesn't return information about the user itself. Get channel by ID, which we already have. Is there anything about emotes in here? Nope. Then do subscribers, get channel. So there is one for users. Wait. Oh, there's a chat one, but it's not documented. Wonder. So user ID and channel are the same, so we could try it out. So we're just gonna go back here, because we're missing some information about just channel. We're missing a bit of information to figure out like the necessary information that we need. So we have chat. So what we're gonna do now is just try this endpoint that someone suggested. You have users, and I think right now the way it works for me is like it's also channel ID. So channel ID. This is kind of bad because I'm using an undocumented method, not method, sorry, endpoint, which kind of has all the information that I need. So hopefully this works. Channel and then channel ID. If this works, we are then able to get all the necessary information that we have. So the issue that's happening is that those are the badges. Where is that returns badges? Well known, but no. It's a broadcaster. I have the broadcaster badge. And can I? Oh, it's only the current user. Oh, it's only the current user. Okay. Let's see. Who else can I find? So we have your user ID. We're gonna take your user ID and we're gonna put it here. So we're gonna kind of have to, yeah, we're gonna have to look into this a bit more. Okay, so there is that. So you only get the moderator badges. I wonder if there's one that gives us more information like emotes. Maybe if I just don't do channels. So what if I just do that? You have the premium badge. Oops. Nope. Okay, so that one doesn't give us the other information that we need. So we need the emotes. Let's see. What did I put in this? And what we need is the emote set. So emote set. Okay, so we found the user. We found how to create the image. The only issue now is like we don't have the necessary information to create the sets. We just need to be able to get the sets for everyone. Yeah, so we need to get the sets, but the sets themselves are not doing much. Okay, so it looks like there is this API. Oh yeah, there's an API that does it for us, but I don't know if I want to use a third-party API. So there's this API that gives us more information. So you get them by. Wait, what is ID? Oh no, the URL works. The issue is like I am not able to find the set. So the issue that is happening right now is like I have the ID of so okay, so let's go back. So I have the ID of the emote itself. The issue that happens, I don't have the code for it. So I don't have the code for it, so I don't know what to replace. That's kind of what is happening right now. Someone created this API that kind of does it and like figures it out. No, I need it. So that's kind of what I mean. Sorry, I need a code. I need to figure out a way to find the code. But the way it works right now is that there is no easy way for me to get a code. Yeah, I'm not sure how to get the code itself. So I am able to get. So this is the part that is missing, right? It's like I am not sure how to get the code itself because the information that I'm getting is only about myself. So mine's not open source yet. So I would suggest you use something like if you don't want to deal with my bugs. So mine's not done yet, but you could use something like this to build it. Someone just sent this on the chat, so you could take a look at this one. It's more mature and there's probably less bug in the mine because mine is still being worked on. But you could use that one. It looks very nice and it's mostly driven by channels. So yeah, it could be very helpful. Yeah, so that might be the best way to do it. Mine's is not done and it's not publicly available yet. We'll make it publicly available after the overlay is done. So I think you should use this one, or if you find some another one that you like, let me know, because that would be fun too. Yeah, there is like some weird things happening right now where yeah, I'm not able to find. So I want to be able to display the chats as the emotes as part of the uh, overlay that we already have. The issue that's happening right now is that we don't have enough information about the overlays themselves. So, and I'm not sure if I want to use this because I'm not sure how it was built. I still need some time. Like maybe let me. I want to figure this out before I run any kind of ad. Maybe I'm also missing something because like we missed one before. Okay. No. So we have the set. We have the IDs. But we only have the set for ourselves. So how do I get everyone's? See, I don't want to use this either. This endpoint here will give us all the information we want. Okay. Would this be crazy if I take all of this? So this endpoint here gives us all the information that we need. It gives us the set that it belongs to, which we don't really need. It gives us the ID of the emote that we're going to be using. It gives us the regex that we need for it. But it's so big. Don't give in. It's so big and monstrous, right? So the thing that's happening is so user state only gives us information about ourselves. So it's only giving us information about ourselves. It doesn't give us information about the user that is making the request. So maybe that's the thing that I need to check, right? Is there an API that I'm able to ping and gives us enough information about a given user, right? So is it gonna give us the different emotes and the different things about that user? It does. Okay, cool. So when someone first joins, do I have enough information for when someone joins? So when someone joins, it doesn't give us enough information, but can I find a user by username? So I don't have the ID. User ID. Okay. Maybe I just do it when they send a message. So when they send a message, we do get the user ID. So when you send a message, I will ping the Twitch API, get your so Copter, you're our guinea pig. Thank you for believing in me. You're kind of like don't give in, so I'm not giving in. This is for you. Okay, so this is that your username? No, that's not your user ID. Let's see. Let's see, Copter. Your user ID is this one here. Okay, so we're gonna be using your user ID just to try it out. So we're gonna say your user ID. Oops, I ended up copying that enough. Okay, so this is more work that I expected it to be, right? Hey. So I don't know what that means. What is OOAD? I don't know what that means. So maybe no? Is it your so I have never no, I have never done that before. That's the first time I read about it. Yeah, that's the first time I read about it. Oh, no worries. I found the linky page for it. So this is the first time I see it. Maybe I do it. Let's see. It's a thing approach analyzing and designing program system and business by applying or. So I don't use visual modeling at all. Yeah. So I have I think is the way to do this is like you create like the different. Yeah, I don't. Most of the time, I feel like if you do any kind of like mapping and charting for your code in like classes and different things like that, like you learn in school, it's gonna get out of date really quickly. So it's better for me. It's like it's easier for me to keep it in mind. Like I created a model of it in my like I tried building a model for myself, and then I use it's easier for me to do it. Like UMLs, like I seen some of them, but then like a week later they're out of date, like really bad out of date, like really bad out of date too, because the code itself it keeps changing over time, and like people don't go back and update it, right? So I feel like any kind of documentation like this will just get out of date very quickly, really fast too. So like it might be good for a small project, but when you're doing like a bigger and bigger project, it's gonna get outdated very quickly. Same thing with so another one that I'm seeing is like the data mapping for like the relationship between tables. Yeah, again, it just gets out of date very quickly. So if it's gonna add in the oven, it's gonna add like it's not going to be updated over time is dangerous, because then you make assumptions of something that is out of date. That's pretty much my opinion here. If it's out of date, if it could get out of date very quickly, then there's no point of doing it. That's kind of my take. Hello world, thank you for asking. Yeah, my take is if it's gonna get out of date, then there's no point of doing it. Same thing. There is also that way of doing comments. Sometimes if you do comments. Comments are very helpful in some cases. In other cases, you're gonna lose information around it. Yeah. So for me, it's like if it's gonna get out of date very quickly, then there's no really reason to do it. If you're gonna have everyone do it and like keep it up to date, then it will be easier to do. But that will be the take there. Everyone has to do it. Everyone has to update it. And it's kind of hard to do that. Sorry, Copter. There's not much private information about you here. We only know that you're a Prime user, and everyone could see that in the chat already. Well, not anymore, because since you have the bit icon, then that means that it's not gonna show it for you. Okay, so we are doing user. So the way it's gonna work. When we get a message, we're gonna take the you're very welcome. So the way it's gonna work is that we're gonna get a user. So we're gonna get a user we're gonna get a user ID from the private message. Then we're gonna take that message, the private message from there, and then we're gonna build a structure that has all the user information. So the emotes that they have, and also I think shows the badges that they have. But for now, we could get the emotes. So we could get the emotes that someone has. And it has the different codes for them too. So like different sets for it. So, oops, that doesn't have enough information. Which user ID? Oh, wait. Why is it failing? Does it have to be myself? Because this is myself, so I'd be very disappointed. Oh, wait. Nope. Does this have to be the authenticated user? No, let's just take off some stuff and see. Maybe I messed up something. So this is Copter. And then we could get your picture, so your logo is there. And then emotes. So let's read the emotes. So you get all of them. Oh, user subscriptions. So that wouldn't work because I have to see your subscriptions. So I cannot use the global one. Oh, it's okay. So I don't know what either one of those things mean. So we are going to go to wiki and find them. So one thing that Go does is like Go is not a object-oriented language at all. You have is you have structures and you have methods attached to the structures. There's no hierarchy or anything like that. So here's the thing. about any principle. Have you tried it? And if you have tried it before and you like it, then you should start doing it. So the way that I do sometimes is I just go with it, right? So like for me, it's like I've been doing low coupling a lot. So yeah, so like it depends on it. Like most, like at least for myself, like most of these words make no sense to me, like the names for it. But I've been implementing some of them, right? If you like the different like different principles and all these different things, you could start building it yourself. If it's more like how you feel about it. Like if you like it, then you should do it. If you don't, you could end up building your own principles, which at the end of the day, they just end up being these kind of principles too, right? So my opinion is like, again, it's like if you should follow, you should try it out. If you like it, you should do it. If you don't like it, you shouldn't do it. Also depends on the team that you're working with, right? For me, it's like most of the teams, the teams that I have worked with, they don't follow any of these principles. But if you're working with a team of engineers and they already have been set and they have the foundation, then it's easier for you to just go with what they're doing. You don't want to rock the boat. Yeah, so like some of these things are like low coupling, for sure. I do that a lot. Polymorphism, so Go doesn't really support overloading, so there's no polymorphism there. Yeah, and then like keep it simple. I think that's pretty much the design principle that I follow for myself is keep it as simple as possible. Until you need to make it more complicated, right? So as you start doing different things, you might have to make it more complicated as you go. So yeah, keep it as simple as you can. So after this is not gonna work because I need to have subscription access to your account. So let's find a different. Let's see if there's a different way to do it. So just want to do it. Maybe this is the one that I'm gonna have to use, which I don't want to use this new API yet because it looks very complicated and you have to do some like different authentication setup. Get all chat emo icons. Oh, I don't want it. What is the difference between that one? This one. Well, this one gives you the sets. This one just gives you the emotes. Can I make this efficient? I think I can. Wait, does it give you the channel? No, it doesn't give you the channel. How big ended up being that file? Where did I end up downloading that file? So now I have a giant file. Oh, what did I call it? I have a giant file somewhere. Oh, I didn't really do much with that. What is? Oh, that's the follower one. Emote sets. How would I get other people's emote sets? Oh, the questions are not boring either. Yeah, they're not boring. So if you have any other ones, I might know about. Let me know. But it's the same. It might be the same answer. It's just like just make sure you follow what your team is already doing. And if you want to bring some of them in, it's better to just mix and match and like apply the ones that are gonna keep the health of the code base better. Because like that's kind of the thing that is more important. Is as long as the health of the code base is better, it's making the health of the code base is it's keeping the health of the code base. It's not getting worse. Then you should go for it. If it's not really helping, then there's no point of doing it. Because you're adding overhead by just having a process of people doing something and they're not just yeah, if it's not working for them, there is no point of doing it. Okay, our other option is just use this API. This API does what we want. It does it by ID. So I'm not sure. Yeah, so it does it what we want. We could do it. We could just use this API. So we could use a third-party API that is going to give us what we want, or we could build our own thing that will use the giant endpoint, and we figure out how to parse it. It's a hard thing here. It's a hard choices we have. So we could do it this way. So we are using a third-party API to do it for us. Hey, why is it? Did I copy the wrong thing? Yeah. Let's see. Someone posted a cheese somewhere. No, not cheese. Oh, right here. Okay. And what was that? Stinky cheese. Yeah. Okay, so the choices are use this API, third-party API that gives us the emotes that we need. Like it gives us we already have the information for the ID, right? So we have the emotes themselves, and then we could also just build something for ourselves that is using the giant endpoint. But the worry here is that it's big. It's like, where is it? Emotes. Let's just make a request to it and save it to a file, because I think it's huge. I think it's like 600 megs or something like that. And it wouldn't, ideally you don't want your users to download that much information. So we're gonna take that and we're gonna just send it to a file. But it's gonna be huge. I think it's like, yeah, I think it's like 600 megs. That doesn't sound appealing. Not 300. So let's see. I pass H to it. Yeah, it's 300. 300 megs of data of emotes. I think I'm gonna pass, and I'm gonna just use that API. Copter. I might lay you down on this one, but I think I'm just gonna use this API. Yeah, so this API, so what we need is what this API is doing. This API, the way it works is that it takes a list, it takes the ID of the emotes, and then based on the ID, it gives you the code that you're using. It gives you the channel, if there is attached to a channel. We don't need that. And then it gives you the information from it. So that's kind of what it's doing. And then does the same thing for sets, right? It just builds the set. So this API here is giving us most of the information that we need to be able to show the emotes themselves as part of the stream. So yeah, I'm gonna just go with this, just because it's gonna be it's way simpler than figuring out how to handle a 383 meg file. So maybe the next project we could do is just figure out how to handle that file. But for now, I'm just gonna go with this. Okay, so I'm gonna make a new one, just a new file here. What is the name of this? I'm just gonna take the same. So what we're gonna be doing, we're gonna use this third-party API. The API is gonna give us all the information that we need for just requesting data, from like emote data from them, and then it's just gonna be straightforward. Because at that point, it's like we have all the information that we need. What I'm doing now is I'm going through it and just making sure that I'm getting the information that I need. This is gonna pretty much be the same setup, so I'm just gonna end up copying some of this information to our new directory that we created. yeah, so this API, Twitch emotes, just gives us all it gives us the information of an emote based on their ID. So since we have their ID, we could just ping the API, their API, and ask for the code itself. That's kind of what we were looking for. Is of course a way for us to get the code itself. We are not getting the code itself. It's taking a bit longer, so it's easier for us just to use the code. Okay, so we're gonna copy that there. And we are just gonna start building an API on top of, like a Go client API for this. So I'm just gonna go in here. For that. Yeah, so this is it's gonna be way faster to just use that third-party API here, because we don't have to figure out how to parse that file. Well, we could figure out how to parse it, but that means that our bot is gonna be using 300 megs of memory when it starts. So when it starts up for the first time, it's just gonna bring all that data into memory, and then we have to refresh it. So every time a new set of emotes are added, we have to refresh that information. So we could have ways to keep it, like we could use something like SQLite to keep that information there, but I don't think it's worth it right now. So I think it's easier for us to just use the third-party tool now. I could think of ways that we're gonna have issues later on with the third-party tool. If we make too many requests to it, it might get angry at us. But if it does, we could figure out how to handle it. So let's track of that. So emotes. Yeah, so we're finally getting to the coding side of things. So we're gonna do is just emotes, and we want to do initial path. This is the path from here. Yeah, it will be way easier to just use the API versus just trying to figure out what to do with that file. So we're gonna use this file, this API here, and we are just gonna build on top of it. So the API, we just need the URL. We don't need channel. Yeah, we don't need that. Channel. And we can get rid of all this here. Then we're gonna get rid of we need emotes, and we're gonna do as a pointer to emotes. Type. And in here, we're just gonna have an empty struct for now. So here we have emotes, and then I'm gonna do get emote by ID. So we're gonna get the emote by ID, and we are only gonna take an integer. So we could do integer to int. So we're gonna do emote ID. And it's gonna be and then the response is gonna be response struct. So we have to start building the JSON response that we're gonna be getting. So we get the it's gonna be an array. It's gonna be, can I get only one? I could get the set. Those are for the channel, so depending on the channel. Okay, so I cannot get one, so okay, so we just need to make sure that we just cache the information and we don't ping them too much. Yeah, so we just need to make sure that we are caching the different. So since we're using their API, we just want to be mindful that we don't make a bunch of requests to them. So when we get an emote, we're going to add it to a cache, and then we're going to append to that cache as we get more and more. So that means that we only ping their API once. If we don't know that emote, if we don't have that emote in cache, we just ping their API. If we have it in cache, we just have the information in cache. So we don't have to do anything there. So we are going to get emotes. But I only want one, so we're gonna have to figure that out. So emotes, and then it's gonna be an array of emotes response, and we're gonna do JSON. So there is no structure here. So, not sure how arrays are handled correctly. Oh, I know how to handle it. So let's just do the response. So the response is going to be we're going to get code, and it's going to be string. We are going to put this together for now. Yeah, so we just want to be mindful that we don't take their API down, and by making a bunch of users requests. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to when I get a response from them, I'm going to cache it, and then we're going to use it again later on. We have a set, which is an integer. Then we have an ID, int, and we have a channel ID, which is create integer or empty. Then we have channel name. I don't think we need any of those. Yeah, we just need this information here. Okay, and then we do. I don't think we even need. Yeah, we don't even need that. Okay, we're gonna do JSON, then go. The way that go works is that it's gonna look for the for uppercase. So we have to remap it. So we are remapping it out to something else. ID. Okay, so cool. So we have, and here we are usually just add API. So API, so it's gonna point to itself API. Okay, so here we get the URL. The response that we expect is this response here. So we are going to just, not even a pointer, because we are okay. It's very small, so it's okay if we copy it. Okay, so we get the response. Then here is just the ID. So we're doing ID. But so I need to check how you add a. We need to be able to add an array. It's a comma separated array. So we could just look at the Go package URL. Welcome back. So I decided to just use a third-party API that we could send the emote name, sorry, ID, and then we don't need to do anything fancy. So what we're gonna do now is I'm building a wrapper for the API, and then we could start showing the emotes as they come in. But yeah, so like the way I was thinking about, like we need to use a giant command. There's no way to there's no way out of it, because the way of how the chat itself works, you have to take this and parse it yourself. This API is already doing it for us, so I'm just gonna use their API and start building on top of it. But yeah, it's gonna save us a lot of headaches figuring out those things. Just because it's 300 megs, so I don't want to download it myself. So it's very big, so I don't want everyone that is using this client to start downloading it themselves. So yeah. So we have values. So how do I set a string? Sorry. Oh, it's comma separated, so I could just comma separate it myself. Oh, well, we're already getting one, so it doesn't really matter. Okay. So we are gonna do. Oh wait, I have to convert it to a string. Emotes. so the way that API works is we pass an ID. Oh, it'd be cooler if we just send all of them. Let's do that. Let's send all of them. Let's just do a two. So let's have the caller handle the conversion themselves because they could convert it themselves. So let's do. We're gonna get an array of strings, and then we want to do IDs, and we're gonna use strings that join, and then we're gonna take that and we're gonna do emotes IDs, and we're gonna join them with comma. Okay, so now we have all the IDs, and we're gonna take all the IDs, and we're gonna put it here, IDs. Okay, so we have all the IDs. We're gonna encode it. Then we have to figure out the different paths. So we have the URL, which has the initial path for it, and then we have to do initial path, and we need to do emotes. So we're just gonna clean this up and emotes. Okay, so and then we just have to take one off from it. So we have initial path, so that's a path there. Oh, it looks like, yeah. If you don't return a pointer, it's gonna complain that you're not. So nil is only for pointers. So client, and then we have. So we don't need to send any information here. Then we do the request. Then we open it. Now the parsing changes because we're parsing there differently. So we need to do. We're gonna create a new structure. So we're gonna do make. It's an array, so we're gonna get an array of responses. So make responses. And we start with 0. Well, not 0. We're gonna start with 0, and then we're gonna do length of IDs. So we're gonna create a array that has a length of 0, so it's empty, but it has a capacity of the length of IDs. That means that it doesn't grow over time. So that's gonna be cool part about it. We're gonna allocate all the memory all at once because we have the number of IDs already. Oh, sorry, we want emotes. That's the wrong one. We want to use, it's not the length of the IDs, it's the length of emotes IDs. Because that's the array. Yep. Okay, cool. So that's gonna allocate enough memory for us. And then here we're just gonna return data, which I need to go back and change the type of data we're gonna be sending back. We want to send back this here, which breaks the responses anyways. Okay, so cool. So the way it works is that we're building. So we're gonna use the URL builder from Go to build the URL. The URL itself has so it has the IDs of the emotes that we want to get back, and then it has the different paths. So it has the initial path, and then it also has the emotes, the IDs. Sorry, the emote path. So it's a constant value that we have here on top. So it's just pretty much building the URL piece by piece. So we're gonna pass this as a configuration file. Sorry, as a configuration because we need to use it. We're gonna change it later on when we start writing tests for this later. And then okay, so we have that. We don't need the client ID. We just need the URL. And here we are gonna build just the emotes. And we're gonna pass the API to it. Okay, so there is that. We just need to check if this works. To check if it works, I might have to do some janky stuff, but we could try it. Okay, so I think this is all we need to be able to test it out. The way I would test it out is I'm gonna make a new folder here and just call it main, because we cannot have too many files in, sorry, different packages in the same place. So we're gonna create a main file here, package main. Then we're gonna create a func main function, and then I'm gonna do, so we named it this here, that new. Okay, so we're gonna create a new one. Right, so we have the emotes client. And it takes a URL, so we're gonna pass a URL to it. So, wait, well, so it's gonna take a URL, which is a string. Then it takes a client ID. But we don't need the client ID here. Yeah, so we are just, again, we just want to be able to get the emotes and then the emotes and the code that are attached to them. And then we could figure out how to parse them. Yeah, so we have the emotes there. And we are going to go to our main file and then just pass the URL. So the URL here will be just a string that we're going to be passing to this here. Okay, so a string, then I'm going to pass the URL. Okay, URL, which takes a URL, it returns an error, so we have to handle that error. And I want to make sure, yeah, so it doesn't have the parentheses. Sorry, it did. Slash. It returns two things here. An error. Again, for now, this is only for us to test it to see if it works. We did not write a test for this at the beginning, so we are gonna do that probably in the next stream. Fail to client, emote client. Okay. Error. Okay, and then now that we have the client, we could start making requests to it. Get emote, and we want to get Oh, nice. I'm glad. So I will try it out for our next game night. When we play games again, I want to try it out and see if I can use a controller to play. Okay, so again, we check if there's error, and because so I think it's like even if we're testing, we need to check for our errors. If there's any errors, we are gonna have a hard time figuring out what's wrong. Okay, and then we set error to it, and then we're just gonna print our emote. That look nice, so I have to do some work there. Okay, so something's wrong with our URL. Okay, so you are complete trash with that controller, huh? That's sad to hear. So the URL that we're building is not right for some. So we just have to make sure that why it's not. We need to go back and check why it's not right. Okay, so I restarted it, I run it again, and this is where is it? Okay. Oh, wait, I messed it up. My string. Cool. So this is a URL we're making. Nice. Oh, wait. Why is it sending me somewhere else? Oh, I know why. It's okay. So I have an extra line for. I have an extra slash. No pointer. Okay, so we are just so it's because we're returning and we're doing. I will have to figure out the point why the point it didn't like that I'm turning into a pointer, but I think I know it's mostly because there's not enough. Oh no, it was because I'm not doing this. So I need to do it. Here I have to turn into a pointer. Okay, so that worked. Okay, so let's turn back and so for a Marshall, you have to pass a pointer to it. If you don't pass a pointer to a Marshall, it's gonna complain that you're not passing a pointer. So we're getting the right information, right? We're getting the ID that we need, and we're getting the code that we need. So we could use that to start building the URL. One idea is like I could probably have built this inside of the Twitch one. So maybe that's what I'm gonna do after in the next stream. Just go through it and just like refactor this. Okay, so now we have okay, so we have the emotes themselves coming in. We don't need this main file anymore. Cool. So now how will we go about this? Where will we put it? We could put it maybe in our main file. So we're getting message. We're getting the message. We're not doing anything with the message. Yeah, we're getting the message here. Yeah, we're taking the message. We are placing it for the event. Maybe here, right? So after the message is being created. Okay, so this is where the message is being created. So maybe the job of our private message function is to take the message to private. Okay, it's gonna take private, so it's gonna take the private message. Before it sends it as part of the parsing, is now gonna also update it. So maybe let's find where message is being created. Wait, I think on the bottom. So our bottom. Wait, where? Oh, this is not the parsing. This is not where the parsing happens. The parsing happens on the top. So start. Yeah, so the parsing happens somewhere around here. So this is where the parsing happens. Okay, so we are going to go to our parser. I think our parser is the one that's going to be doing the heavy lifting. So we are going to teach our private message parsing. Oh, but we're going to have to pass a client to it. Where do we do it here? I think I'm going to do it on top. Yeah, it's better if I just do it one above. So the issue is happening is right now if I do it, I don't, for simplicity, I don't want to pass our client all the way down there. So it's all the way into the parser, because then it's going to be very nested in there. So the thing I could do is do it here, right? So when I'm parsing, as part of the parsing side of things, I will change the message up, right? So I would do something like emotes, message, emotes, and then I'm gonna just do what am I doing here? No, I'm gonna create a new one and just call it just let's go here. So I'm gonna create a new function here and do the handle emotes. So we're gonna handle the emotes here. What it takes is the parse and then the message. But we need a tag too, so let's just send the whole thing into it because we need to get the emotes ID. Okay, so there, and then the thing we're gonna do. Oh wait, I think it's a pointer. If we return a pointer, we can just edit it in place. So it has a side effect. Yeah, it's a pointer. So it's gonna have a side effect where the message is gonna get updated there, and that means we don't need to save it here. Okay, so our handle emotes function, sorry, method is gonna take the parser that is for sending. So starting, I'm gonna put it here. So it's gonna take the parser message. So it's gonna take the message from the parser. Then it's gonna do all the magic that it needs to do to handle the emotes. So we're gonna do parser that message with pointer. We're not gonna return an error here because it's happening asynchronously. So for now, I'm just gonna ignore the error. But here we're gonna do we're gonna teach our client. So first we have to get the IDs. So what happens when I post multiple emotes? At that, but what if I do something like if I send two different ones? Let's see. So if I send this one here, this one. Okay, so we send a message with two emotes. So we are getting two of them, and they're identified by the slashes. So the slashes is the one that represents new one. Okay, so cool. So here we're gonna do. We have to figure out how to parse it. So first we are gonna check. What if there's no emotes? So it's empty. So first we have to check our tag. So emotes tags tag. Yeah. Then here we are gonna do parse, and we're gonna do tags, which has our tags in there. It's a map. So then we could do emotes here. And it could be empty. So if and emotes empty, so if our tag is empty, we do nothing. Right? We are gonna return here. Not gonna do any work. So we're not doing any work there. And now if it's not empty, we are going to get IDs. So IDs. So first we have to split it in a different way. So let's just copy this. We have the IDs and the position of them. So for now, let's just put it here. So the way it works is it's represented in two ways. So the first part is represented by so if there's two, there's gonna be a slash. So we should split there. So emotes, and we're gonna split it by, we're gonna use strings that split, and we're gonna split by this slash. So we're gonna pass emote tag, which has the tag in there. Then we're gonna do slash here, and we're gonna close that. Okay, so we have strings, and then we're gonna return. Okay, so we have that there, and then we now have. Okay, sorry, we're here. So now we have all of them. So we could do a for loop, which takes our value and we're gonna range through it, and we have all the emotes. So we have emotes. So we're gonna loop through it, and while we loop through it, we are gonna. So we're looping through it. So now we have this part here and this part here. Create a new one, just call emote parts, and then it's gonna just split it again. Now we're gonna split it on the column. This code doesn't feel like it goes here, so we're gonna have to figure out where to put it later. And we pass the value to it. Right? So now we have the ID. Okay, so now here I could just do so client that wish emotes, and I'm gonna do that emote that. So we're gonna use our call. So right now I haven't declared this, so it's just to work. So get I'm gonna rename it to get by ID. And ID is the first part, so we're gonna do the first part. So we're gonna do 0. That's where our ID is here. Okay, so we have the first part of it. So now we get a data and error, and then we just print error. If error nil, we are just gonna print it because right now we don't want it. We even if we don't know how to parse the emote, we just want it printed out. So we print it out. Print. Okay, so there is that, and we're gonna just return here. Okay, so we have the data now. We are gonna have to clean up this a bit more. It's just so. Okay, so we now need to teach our client how to connect to the emotes client. But I want to build this a bit more. Okay, so the URL. So we need to. Okay. I have to find that URL that I posted in the chat a while back. While back. No. Okay. That's right. And we don't. The size is gonna be the same. So for now. Okay. And then this is the ID. ID. Yeah, we're gonna have to refactor this. That is emo part in this 0. So this is where we get the ID. Okay, so we have that. So that's the URL. Oh. Okay, this is gonna be gaggy. Let me do it. So here we are gonna build a image element. And so here is just pretty much we're gonna inject a HTML tag. Image source and source. Yeah, we don't need to close it. Okay, so there. And we're argument. Okay. Then we're gonna pass a URL. That's gonna get also the URL. Cool. Okay. So we have that. Now we are gonna just look at the message, parse that. And we're gonna do strings that replace. We don't use regex, so they use regex to do it in some places, but I'm not gonna use regex. I'm just gonna use the data that. So let's just see. Okay, so it takes the all string. I use probably replace. Yeah, that's the one we're gonna replace all. And then we pass here. We pass the old method, parse that method. Okay, so we pass a code to it. We pass the image. Oh wait, and yeah. So we are passing the old message. So what the message looked like from when we got it from the server, we pass the code that we want to replace, and then we pass the image, and then we update it in place. You know, anytime you see the emotes there, we're gonna replace it in place. Now the thing that we need to do is we need to teach our client about our new API first. So yeah, so we're gonna teach our new API, and then we can start using our new APIs here. So yep. And here we just have to pass. Oh, we have the configuration. So in our configuration here, for now I'm just gonna start a new one. Right, emo client error. And here we could just do emotes.new, and it takes a URL. So the URL is the one I have here. We just want to copy this URL. For now, I'm not going to make it part of our configuration. So we're going to put it there. And we are good. So if we do if error equals nil, we are going to return an error saying that we couldn't start our client, emo client. So failed to. Okay, so error. And then here we are just gonna, and then we're gonna just put our line. I did, so I need to go back and make it into a pointer. So we are almost, I think we have most of the information here. The only thing I did was I changed the name of this function. So I need and I renamed this one to get ID, and it takes a list. Okay. So we're gonna stop. Oh wait, stop this one. Oh, cool. We have a new subscriber we didn't get a notification for before. But hello world, if you're still around, thank you for subscribing. I don't know why we just got a subscription alert now. Maybe it was a bug. Okay, so we were able to build our client with our changes. So, oh wait, I didn't save it. Oh wait, not two. I wonder if there was like a bug with the alert sense. Okay, now that's emotes. It's because I stopped it. So we're gonna get all of them. This is not doing the caching yet, so we will have to do it as we go. Okay, so we have that there. Oh, it's because he expects him to be a string. So the question is, do we do all of them at once, or we could change it? For now, I'm gonna change this. So instead of getting, we okay, yeah, that's kind of what we here. This is just gonna work for. We are doing things very efficient. We get all of them at once. Since we could get all of them at once, it doesn't make sense for us to just go one by one. So we're gonna get all of them at once, and then we're gonna do the replacing in another loop. I just want to make sure that it works correctly. Okay, so cool. So starting up, it's connected. So if I do this here, send it. Okay, so it's still there. Okay, so that work as expected. Why is not? Okay, so it did not. Okay, just make sure that is cool. Okay, so we are gonna print here. Here. Want to make sure that we are calling this code here. If not, we could. Okay. Then we go back here. We turn it off. Turn it back on. We turn it on and off. Then we wait for it. So it's not going to our, that's kind of the main issue. So why it's not going to. Okay, so this is not being triggered. Wonder if this splitting is not working. Okay, so we are here, and I want to print. Okay, so I want to make sure that we're printing here. Start it. Then that. That is not anything. Oh, because tag is in. Why is it again? Oh, no, I have this. This is wrong. This is equal. That's why it's not working. Okay, so okay, so we are here. It works. Okay. Yeah. Here, it crashes because I'm checking some. So where is that? Let's see. So 977. Oh, that's the one calling it. 77, 108. Okay, so we are not getting a response back from our. Okay, I don't know. Let's check what data is. Might not be getting something back. So it looks like the response that we're getting is not. It's just empty. Okay, so we're getting something back. Yeah, empty. Okay. Oh, oh, see, because we're getting a point. Oh, it might not be working correctly. So we're getting the URL. We are sending a message to it. So it's kind of what it's returning. But then it's doing something here. Oh, maybe it doesn't have mine. Do have yet. Oh, that will suck. That one. It does have it. And it doesn't have it. Wait, why does it have it? So let's see how this one looks. Our channel. It doesn't have them yet. Yeah, so that well, it crashed, but here, try it now. Try it again. It should work now. You know what? Have to add your channel manually. Uh, Dude, you have to add it manually. That's what's going on. So hours will not work for a while. It takes an hour. Most badges are provided. Yeah, it's gonna take an hour. Um, so it's gonna take an hour for the other ones to show up, but the regular ones do. But we do have a bug here too. So our bug is that we're not handling get nothing back. Okay, so our making progress. So we should be able to see this work. So we cannot use our own. We have to use someone else. Yeah, so we are, because we're not handling that parsing correctly, it's showing us an image tag in this thing. Okay, so we are getting there. So before I do that, let's just fix that. So yes, that. So we're doing inner tags where we should be doing inner. Oh, so it's inner. Oh, see if that works. But that means I have to restart the overlay. So overlay. Let's restart over again. And we are gonna. So it does work correctly. It's just okay. Oh, it didn't show up correctly. So we just have to figure out what is going on. Okay, so it is replacing it correctly in place. It's just not doing it as part of. So there's a few errors that we're gonna have to fix, but that is work. Okay. So target. Oh, coming. Oh, yeah, we have to fix the crash. It might be better if I don't see. This crashes it. It might not be worth using. Oh, that should help. Okay, so we have the event here. Oh, it went away. Okay. It's just there enough they're going away for now. Because then we could just. Oh, we're gonna go here. And we're gonna comment how they're going. So the goal here is just to provide the images. But we're doing the replacement. The replacement is working correctly. It's just like the tag that's being added is not correct. Oh wait. Message is empty. Oh, I might have used the wrong text, but okay. So let's just refresh it. Okay, so here it comes. That okay, we right, and okay, so that looks right. What if we want to? Oh, it cannot be text. I have to convert it. So let's see. Sir. So issue. This looks like it should work. I just don't know what it's like refusing to. So, okay. My image. Oh, I didn't close it. That's why. Okay, so we have to go back to Go. We didn't close it correctly. So we didn't close our tag, so it doesn't know what. Yeah, we opened it and never. So image here. Close it. Okay. Okay, so it's going. Now if we go back here and there we go. It works. Okay, so that's working. Now and emotes that are not ours here. Yep, there you go. So that works. Yeah, that works. We just need to fix some things around it because it does some weird stuff. There is so if you're a subscriber and you try to send one of our custom emotes, it doesn't work. It crashes the server. If we try this one, it's gonna crash the server. So it crashed. So I'm gonna fix that now. Yeah, so if you do that one, it's gonna crash the server because it doesn't know. So here, I'm just gonna do if f of data is 0. That would stop it crashing. Yeah, it was so much work. Well, first, most of the work was just figuring out what to do, like how to get the right information. Because I didn't know how to get the right information. Oh, I have a new view, so let's try this. Give a second. Turn this off. Then we have this thing. And then we have this here. Yeah, it was a lot of work because we had to go back and figure out how it worked. So it doesn't crash anymore. So I patched that. So if you do that again, it doesn't do it. See, it didn't work. It just doesn't show it. It shows the code for it. So that's kind of one the fix that I did. But yeah, it was a lot of work because I had to figure out how to work, how to get the right information. But now if you do it a lot, it just works. So as long as we don't use hours, The hours are gonna show up in like an hour or two. So that works, which is cool because now we can start sending messages for it. The other thing we can start doing is we could also add the icons to it, but we could just keep. But yeah, so it works pretty nice. But yeah, it was a lot of work. Yeah. Wait, what happened? I don't think I could give you points. I'm not allowed to give points. Like at all, it doesn't work for points. I don't know why, but it doesn't let me give community. No, I return points back to you. So I could return your points back to you. I cannot take them. I cannot give you points. Yeah. So if you have points and you want me to, if you, yeah. So if you have points and I don't, and I reject it, then you don't get the points. Yeah. But then if I have the points and I take them from you, then you won't get them. That's pretty much it. Cool. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed me going through a bunch of like different ways to do this. I'm gonna put the screen up. Yeah, again, thank you for watching. I will see ya tomorrow. I will be streaming around 3-ish tomorrow. But yeah. Sorry, Copter. See you tomorrow. I don't, not sure. We could try. Well, let's see if we could raise someone. Oh, we could rate. I'm not sure if he's finishing up. So let's just rate him and see if he's finishing up. Let's see. Yeah, so we're gonna be rating Vegan Bot. He's awesome. So say hi.